This message made possible by the friends and partners of Mo's Motivational Mondays.
Good morning, family. Welcome back to another episode of what? You know what it is, baby. Mo's Motivational Monday. One moment of power. See, look, on last week, I asked you the question, how did you get from tragedy to triumph? I was sharing with y'all the story about my eyeball coming out, where my eyeball was sitting down on the inside of my cheek by a nerve. And the doctors, they couldn't explain how come it didn't just fall off. And so I asked myself, I said, if my eyeball can hang in there, how come I can't hang in there? Look, I was in and out of conscious. I told you I was unaware of some of the stuff that was going on around me. I was in and out of conscious. But I was in and out of surgery. In and out of surgery. If you want to be exact, I think it was 18 total to be exact. But look, I was a fighter, y'all. I was a fighter. And I can tell you some teachers and some principals in middle school can attest to that. They can confirm that. But look, one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, trying to relearn this thing that y'all call walking. Look, one breath at a time, trying to relearn this thing y'all call talking and speaking. See, words were a struggle. Not to mention that I had a trach strapped to my throat for 5 years. 5 years, a trach in my throat. But I thank God for his grace, his mercy, his keeping power. From tragedy to triumph, you got to have some strong people in your life. Now, my mom was one of the strongest prayer warriors. My mom was one of the strongest willpower people that I knew. My mom quit her job here in Tennessee and moved into the hospital with me in North Carolina and did everything. Doctors and nurses basically didn't have to do anything because of my mom. But how did you get from tragedy to triumph? I mean, you got to stand on God's word. Look, I'm not saying you have to be a Bible scholar, but keep this in mind. Every time you inhale and exhale, he's keeping you. Keep this in mind. Every time you inhale and exhale, God is saying you still have purpose. So how did you get from tragedy to triumph? You got to stand on God's word. Yeah, you can have strong people in your life. You got to have a made up mind. But most of all, you got to stand on God's word. Hey, if you like these nuggets, I'm telling you, y'all share it, you like it, comment, and y'all come back on the next episode. Because I'm going to give you more. I'm going to give you more. I'm going to give you more. This is my story. And I'm standing on God's word. Peace.